Hi everyone, it's Sheena LaShay here, and today I have my friend Amber with me.
Hi everyone.
I know Amber because we went to the same college together, and so I'm shocked that I actually haven't brought her on the channel. Yeah, for a long time, because she's one of my close friends too, and she lives in New York. So that's yeah.
We never see each other.
Yeah, we never see each other, which is funny. And now we've seen each other, like in the last few weeks, we've seen each other like four times.
This is four.
4 times.
Holy shit.
Now, one of the main reasons that we've seen each other 4 times, aside from the fact that we love each other, is that Amber is also a dragon. I've been introducing her as a dragon.
I've been explaining to people that Sheena's actually named me. And I feel like everyone really identifies that they have like an inner animal or different aspects of themselves. And yet, I was always torn about like what I identified with. I wasn't a cat, I wasn't, you know.
I feel like a lot of women identify with different cats.
I think so too. It fits our personality, a lot of women's personality. But it just never fit completely with me. And I feel like identifying with a large animal such as a dragon is kind of a little presumptuous about oneself.
It's true, like it's rare that if you ask someone, like, what animal do you identify with? I've never heard anyone say a dragon.
And people who do say a dragon, a lot of times you're kind of just like, who the fuck, or like, who the hell are you to name yourself a dragon? Like, really? But
it's accurate for you.
But for me,
and why?
It's accurate because I breathe fire. I breathe actually real, honest to God fire. And I love it. And it's a part of me now, and I can't imagine not playing and breathing with fire.
So by breathing with fire, you mean like the people when we see those circus movies, or like Burning Man kind of people?
Burning Man kind of people. A lot of, if you've ever been to a Renaissance fair, usually they'll have a fire performer. I do more than just fire breathing. I do fire eating. I do different prop manipulation on fire, which is usually we call fire spinning.
Fire dancing.
Yes.
Fire hula hooping. The hula hoop was on fire, and then it was around her waist. Then she moved it up on her neck, like fire on a ring on her neck, which just, like, I was just shocked.
It's really awesome for me to hear other people talk about it and how they're so shocked about it, because
it's fire.
And a lot of the people that I choose to spend time with are also fire performers. So for me, it's normal to, you know,
breathe fire.
Breathe fire. You know, you never realize that you are the same level of a lot of the people you keep company with. So it's really cool for me to talk with Sheena and with other people who think this is like super amazing, because I'm almost jaded to it right now. Like, this is just part of what I do, and why doesn't everybody want to do this? Like,
no, I definitely get that same thing with pole dancing. Like, it's normal to be hanging upside down or like doing something, and then other people are just like, oh my goodness. So I definitely understand it, but I understand it for pole. Like, I'm still just like, it's fire. So how long have you been doing this?
Almost 2.5 years.
How did you even get into it? You just woke up and was like, I'm gonna play with fire?
One of my friends, Felicia, which you need to meet Felicia, she learned to play with fire in college. She called me and she was like, do you want to go up to my parents' house in New Rochelle, my mom's house, and I'll teach you how to play with fire tonight? And I was like, I have a paper I have to write. I have to finish this paper. Give me an hour.
But that didn't sound... Like, to some people, if someone calls them and is like, hey, do you want to come play with fire with me? Like, the average person would be like, should I call the police because there's a pyro? Or like I feel like the average person would be like, okay, let me write my paper first.
I don't know. I mean, I've always been around fire. Like, I grew up in the woods where I had a bonfire every weekend. We burned brush. I played with fire in that aspect. I've never been afraid of fire. So it was like, oh, this is something really cool. This would be awesome. Like, why wouldn't I want to learn that? And I guess I've always been someone like you. My mom tells me stories of preschool where they wanted the kids to try something new. They just grab me and be like, hey, Amber, come play with this. And I'd be like, okay. So, you know, for me, like, it was, you know, if she's okay and I know her pretty well and she can do this, why can't I do it? We went up. She does a lot with poi, which are basically, originally, a lot of fire spinning props were originated in martial arts. So they're a ball, anywhere from the size of a fist to sometimes bigger, on a chain, and you spin them.
I've seen that.
So she showed me and her boyfriend, George, how to do that, and then she showed me how to eat fire. And she gave me the whole safety talk, and there's a bunch of stuff. This is not safe at all. It's incredibly dangerous, and it's not good for you either. And I watched her do it. She explained how to do it, gave me a lit torch, and I was just like, if she can do it, I can do it. And immediately put it in my mouth and put it out. And her reaction was, fuck. For most people, even including her boyfriend George, like, it takes a while to get the fire that close to your face and actually put something that's fire in your mouth. I do not have the gene. It just came
naturally.
I do not have the gene that makes me afraid of fire. And it just happens. And so therefore I have to be much more conscious about safety and what I'm allowing myself to do, because I'm not afraid of the fire. Where people who are afraid of the fire, even if they're fire performers and have a good sense of fear towards it, they have this natural kind of barrier between them and doing something stupid. There's two groups: the people who like have that barrier doing something stupid, and the people like me who are just like, we can do that. Can we light it on fire? Like,
can we light it on fire?
Can we do that on fire?
Now, I recently, a friend of mine is actually, I've mentioned him before, Glenn, who shot my pole dancing video. I had a photo shoot set up with Amber, and he found out and was like, well, can I come and shoot a video of her? And I'm like, well, of course, I think she'll be okay with you shooting a video of her. The first night we did this test run, and I have no concept of what it means to play with fire, so I'm just like, okay, like, let's go and film her. And I'm like, oh wait, it's raining. Like, that's probably not gonna work. And then after it stops raining, Amber was like, so I'm like, okay, it stopped raining, we're good, we can film. And she's like, but it's windy. And I'm like, because then the fire blows like all over your face, then you're done. So I didn't even realize those things, but the day of like the official fire shoot,
kept my fingers crossed.
Yeah, we kept our fingers crossed, and it ended up working. And I'll put a link to the video so that you can watch it, because it's so amazing. But Glenn shot a few scenes of her, and then he went to like fix his camera or something. So then Amber comes up to me and she's like, am I doing enough for you guys? Like, I feel like I'm not like doing all the tricks I could do. Do you think Glenn likes what I'm doing? And in my head, I'm like, girl, you just lit a torch on fire and put it out with your mouth. She lit her skin on fire. Like, what the hell do you mean, are you doing enough? So then finally, like, towards the end, she did like the big like dragon breathing. Like, it was just like, and the air's on fire and all this crazy shit's happening. I'm sitting there with my camera in one hand and the fire tarp in another, because in case anything catches. Duvetine?
Yes.
Isn't that also like a milk substitute?
No, that's Ovaltine.
Ovaltine, okay, never mind. So I'm standing there like, okay, she might catch on fire, and I need to get a good picture, like, and then I just realized, like, this girl just lit like 5 feet of air on fire. I turn into a 5-year-old. Like, I forget that Glenn is filming, cameras rolling, and I was like, Amber, you're a dragon! A dragon! Like I was so captivated, but I must have screamed it enough, and I'm sure Glenn, when he played back the film, he saw that, because that ended up even being the title of
the video, which is really, I mean, in the past month, that's really it's helped me. Like, the video was an awesome experience for me because I think I got into, we're talking about, is a rut of always being around fire performers, always thinking other people are better than I am, and that this is just, I'm okay, it's just something I do, to something like, wait a minute, I've really come a long way at this, and this is something that most people would really be amazed at, just this bit that I can do.
Yeah.
And it's really pushed me to just kind of take it to the next step.
Yeah, and see, that was the same thing for me. Like, I feel like my pole dancing experience and your fire experience kind of parallel each other. Like, we started them at right around the same time, and they both are kind of like those kind of obscure dark arts that, like,
and they both kind of took over a lot of
they
our
took
life.
like it's my lifestyle now. It's not just a hobby, it's a huge part of what I do.
Same here. A lot of my free time goes towards not just practicing fire, but the fire
community and not as a pole community. Like, so when I came up, I knew I had passed my 2-year anniversary, and I was at that place where I was just like, you know, what else am I gonna do? But I also wanted to celebrate where I was at that moment. So I was like, maybe I'll just get a nice video done because, you know, one, it'll be great for my portfolio.
Right.
And two, it would be great to look back on, to like see where I was. Like, I've come a long way. And then also I can like see the growth too. Like, I would love to do another film a year from now. But I like having my like 3-minute film of, and then I also use it whenever I have days. I mean, it's rare, but when I have days where I'm just like, oh, Sheena, like, you're not doing anything. Then I like go and watch my video and I'm like, I'm so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And that's just pole, like, which I think pole is cool. Fire is on a whole other level because it's fire and you can burn up and you could die. Like, it's more, you have like lamp oil or gasoline in your mouth.
Penn and Teller, they're magicians and they do a lot of different things. And if you go online, you can find they do a very interesting, I forgot which one of them, fire eating short bit. The question that they pose to the audience is not how that this is done, is why it's done. Because it's not good for my body. It's not good at all. There's so much risk involved, but it's very much addicting and something I can't imagine being without, that I'm willing to trade that risk for it. So it's like not how, but why we do it. There's something that doesn't click quite right, or clicks too well, or who knows what's going on.
Yeah. My mind, I'm always like, okay, like, what, I don't know, there's just always stuff going on in my mind. So I'm like, what if we did like a pole routine and the pole dancer was on fire and the pole was on fire?
But I'm like, the pole shouldn't be on fire. But we can work on doing the like pole and some sort of fire thing.
And what I love about the two of us is that, and we keep emphasizing how like we forget that we're not normal, because even though I'm like, the pole's on fire, most people that might freak them out. Amber's just like, well, maybe not the pole, but we got something else on fire. Like, we're just special like that.
We're a little special.
Yeah.
We forget how special we are, I think, because we're around other people similar to us, but we do forget we're in the minority.
So we're gonna take a break because I hear like 2 different car alarms, and I know that the camera is gonna pick it up, and we will be back shortly.